data lakes, data swamps, data marts, data warehouses. There are so many different forms of data repositories that it gets really confusing. Hi, I'm Heather Cole, and this week I read a book called Cloud Data Lakes for Dummies. And this particular book was a short little book, about 50 pages, and a nice, easy read that I recommend for anyone that needs to understand data. In particular, if you are a financial executive or someone who works with IT and they're trying to tell you they need certain things, you need to read this book to better understand your options and what the different tools are. So many of you have heard of big data and Hadoop, and what we found when people started to implement that is it was very costly and time consuming. And one of the big challenges that people had is we have two main types of data. We have structured data that will come out of, let's say, your general ledger. And then we have this unstructured data. We're talking about things from social media posts and things from all these other tools that we want to use to analyze. We want to query this information, but we don't know where to put it. And it doesn't often fit nicely in your data warehouse. Your data warehouse typically was something that was very designed for a purpose. It had specific data, and oftentimes it didn't have maybe the data you wanted. And so people were really struggling with that. Well, the beauty of a data lake is it can hold everything. It can hold structured, unstructured. Just imagine it as a vast repository, almost like a reservoir for your information. And it can do it without a lot of massaging. You can kind of put it up there and then use it as needed. Now, what people found when they started to do this on-premise is it took a lot of hardware and it was becoming very expensive because we had heavy processing times. You had to have the infrastructure to support that. And that was a challenge. Well, now there are new data lakes. This particular book was actually, I was giving it as a promo from Snowflake. I wanted to learn more about Snowflake technology. And of course, LinkedIn or Facebook or somebody sent me this little promotional thing. And I said, okay, click, downloaded it. And as I read it, I was like, this is a great book for anyone trying to understand these technologies. And maybe you're a financial executive and you're like, hey, we want to look into this. What questions should I be asking? Because obviously Snowflake is not the only technology out there. There's lots of them. But this book guides you through, and the author, David Baum, gives you, this is what you should be asking type questions. So I love this book. Light read. Well, I shouldn't say light read. Nothing about technology is ever light, right? But it's a short read, about 50 pages. Great for anyone that needs to get a better understanding of how data warehouses are different than data lakes and how, if you're not careful, your lake can become a swamp. But so recommend this book. Again, light, easy, no, good read. Let's leave it at that. I'm Heather signing off. We'll catch you next week with our book review. Grab this book today.